I'm saying if you're Bill, you haven't seen another human being in 4 years.
Right.
Are you just like, holy shit? Do you just like kind of become gay because you're like,
No.
this is the only other human being that
No.
is in your, you know what I mean? Like psychologically, that's the only other human being available to you.
I think you go
No.
the friend route.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just his boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're Enzo. Were you almost on the fence with you? You would just you turn.
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying you
Kinda
gay,
sounds
bro.
like you're gay, bro.
What up? What up? I'm Jake.
I'm Jim.
Welcome to Secret Hideout, place we talk you can't bring to the dinner table.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
What up, Zozo?
What up, guys?
Yeah, we got episode 125 here.
Yeah, look, we wore the same outfits.
As last week. If
week.
you watched, yeah, you see.
If you watch it, you'll see it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, we get into it on this one.
Yeah.
We talk about some pop culture with Handmaid's Tale. Talk about The Last of Us, Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, for sure.
Get into Cobra Kai again.
Cobra Kai, god damn, I don't know how it keeps.
At least it's not Pokemon, right?
Cobra Kai and Pokemon.
Yeah. That takes us into some rabbit holes, and we talk about.
Oh, we show some of the music that Jake and I have been creating too. So
Yeah, we get into some music talk.
yeah,
Talk about prison.
dude, you've been thinking about that prison, dog. He's been thinking about what would happen to Enzo in prison.
No, let's
We
not
do talk about
that.
prison. What else we get into? The Last of Us.
Explosion.
We get into Explosion.
Yeah, explosions in the sky.
World War
Explosion in the
III.
sea, World War III. The gas or the chemical spill. All that shit.
Yeah,
It's fun. Let's run it.
let's go. What up? We're here, episode 125.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get this shit, boys.
Let's get this. Let me jump into pop culture real
You
quick.
want to hit that pop?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have it, so just do it.
You're fucking around with it for like.
I know. Well,
Because we
I
restarted
opened,
and
closed,
shit.
and,
Yeah.
we had a bunch of
Okay, I'm
craziness.
gonna be quick about it. Do you guys fuck with The Handmaid's Tale?
I started it.
Man, it's a good show, dude.
That's what I've heard.
It is a good show. It
Yeah.
really is. We've been on it from, I think, the beginning. Actually, it's been a long time. Like sometimes there's been like two years in between.
It came out in 2017.
Yeah,
Damn.
I think we started in 2018.
Is it still dropping right now?
The the fifth season just dropped.
Rachel's
not
really into
really
it.
recently, but yeah, the fifth season dropped. I think, and man, it's good, dude. Like, fourth season kind of a slow burn, but this the most newest season was really good, and I recommend everyone watch it. It's like a really cool concept, and basically, if you guys don't know, like, I don't know, maybe I missed it, but like somehow America gets taken over by like ultra religious group, like form of government takes over. Okay, and takes over America and calls it Gilead, right? Because what happens is women. I forgot to bring this up, but women stop getting pregnant.
Okay.
All right, and people aren't getting pregnant, but there are certain girls that are still able to get pregnant and shit, right? And so this religious group like somehow overthrows the government and kicks America out, kicks like the American government out, and they flee to certain parts of the country and Canada and stuff. And Gilead takes over, and they're very, very like total, what do you call
Totalitarian.
yeah, totalitarian and very like ultra religious, and they take these women that are able to have kids and they make them into these things called handmaids, right? Because they're able to have kids, and it's really fucked up, and they steal people's kids and shit. Like they steal people's kids and they give them to like rich families, right? That are like people in charge called like commanders and everything. And basically, if you're a housemaid, your job is to go into a house of like a wealthy person that's usually part of the government or something like that, and you have to basically be their housemaid, but at the same time every month or so you have to perform this ritual where the man of the house fucks you, right? He basically rapes you, and like the wife is supposed to sit there with them and like hold her down, and he rapes them, and the goal is to get them pregnant, right?
Okay.
And once if you do get pregnant, they get that child, right? They take the child from you, and it's about one of the handmaids, and basically she helps with this uprising and revolution of it and escapes. But that's a very, very in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Thing.
I've heard good things about it. I've heard nothing but good things.
It is, yeah, it's really good. Watch that shit.
Now this is like the shit that like people were like talking about like during like Roe v. Wade and stuff. Like, well,
Yeah,
this is that's gonna happen to us.
yeah. It could be looked at from both sides.
That's what I'm
like you
thinking.
can look at it as liberals doing that. You can look at it as Republicans doing it. Yeah, most people will be like, "Oh, it's Republicans because it's so God and everything," you know. But it's just showing like it shows the hypocrisy of it all. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's a book, right? It's
yeah, it's based. Well, if I'm not mistaken, the show follows the book until like I think not even halfway through the second season,
okay.
and then it goes on its own
Okay.
because that's all there is.
There's only one book.
There's two now, but the most I think the second one was released pretty within the last like 2 years or so.
Okay.
So, but yeah, good show. Let's see. Oh, I'm rewatching Cobra Kai with Hayden,
Is she loving it?
and yeah, she fucking loves it, and I'm fucking loving it too, man. Like, fucking loving it now.
How many Cobra Kai episodes we're gonna do? This guy rewatching Cobra Kai.
I only watched it once. This is my second. This is only my first
Well,
rewatch.
But
Cobra Kai.
we've talked about it when it
Well, yeah, because
released.
the last season is coming out. Season 6 is gonna be the last season of Cobra Kai, and that's gonna be the next season. Dude, it's so fucking good though. It's such a good fucking show. Like for fans of Karate Kid, it really is, man. And especially like with my daughter, like it's so ridiculous. It's so fucking ridiculous,
Yes.
but like it's so fun. It's just so fun. It's like here's all these Easter eggs and like all these cool things, and like Johnny Lawrence is just such a funny character, man. Like the fact that he doesn't get anything, like he doesn't give a fuck about anything. Like it just needs to be badass, you know? Like it's got to be badass.
And that's it.
If it's not badass, you're a pussy. Stop being a pussy, you know? It's funny, like Hayden, we're watching an episode and one of the lead character, Miguel, is doing something. She's like, stop being a pussy, Miguel.
You're like, whoa.
I'm like, hey, you can't say that. I'm like, you can't say that. I'm like, you get one.
Where did she get it?
You get one every, because that's what he says in the episode.
Oh, does he say?
Like, yeah, like, you know, like Cobra Kai, like, don't be a pussy. Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
you know, that's what I love about his character. But yeah, just so, and she loves it because, like, you know, they'll be in the mall. They're in like the mall, and like one kid's like, you looked at me weird in science class, and it's like 15-person karate battle in the middle of the mall.
Yeah.
You know, like
She's like, this is what
like
public schools are like.
well, she's yeah. She's like oh, when am I gonna like start doing stuff like this at my class, you know? And I'm like Hayden, like this isn't real. Like they can't be like these kids they're in class, right? They're in their like dojo, like learning, and like they're learning headbutts, and they're like doing like full blown headbutts to each other, and they'd be like, oh, like fuck, okay, yeah, that was good. All right, I'm gonna do you, and like
Yeah.
full blown headbutt, and I'm like, Hayden, that would like put you in the hospital. Like it's not, you know, they just have like full blown fights with each other, and they're all fine.
Yeah, they spar like full on.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
full
yeah.
on spar. But that's what's fun about it, man. I don't know. She loves it.
Yeah, like that girl just got a concussion that just got smoked in the face right there.
Yeah, like, but everyone's all fine. Like,
Yeah,
it's just like, you know, it's just fun.
The
show.
first season was fun. I didn't go past the first season.
It just gets more and more fun because they did a really good job bringing back people. Like that guy, that Asian dude right there. He's the bad guy from the second movie. you know.
Okay.
And Danny or Danielson, he goes back to Japan to get some answers for something, and the whole second movie of Karate Kid is when he goes to Japan with Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
He goes to Mr. Miyagi's village, right? And he learns new stuff, and there's a new bad guy, and so that's where he goes. He goes back to Japan, and he comes across that dude, and instead of them being enemies, he teaches him a new form of karate, you know?
Okay. So they
And-
flip that too.
Yeah, and like he's now they're friends and shit now. And,
Yeah.
like the fact that like, and I love the fact that, and I brought this up before about it. It's really fun because it just keeps you going, especially like with Hayden. She loves it. The fact that there's not a good guy, bad guy. Like everybody keeps flipping.
Yeah.
Like Cobra Kai's good, Cobra Kai's bad, Miyagi-Do is good, Miyagi-Do is bad. You know, like
Does she get confused by that?
no, she likes it. She'll be like, oh, they're bad now. They're bad in this one now. You know.
That's cool.
And everybody, like throughout the whole show, they're never straight good or straight bad.
It's definitely a show for like families and kids. Like it's not.
It's not kid. It's not kid. Yeah, because I actually had to, and I didn't realize I was gonna have to do this. I had to fast forward a lot through the first season. There's a lot of like sexual and like
Innuendo.
yeah, innuendo for like the high school stories.
Oh, okay.
Like kids talking about blowjobs and shit like that. A lot
I
of
don't remember that.
No, you don't remember that. Yeah, neither did I. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta, you know. And I mean, mostly all of it's would go over her head if I
But
missed
still,
it.
yeah.
But still, you know, and had to fast forward a lot of it. And
You don't want it getting into her
but
subconscious.
it really slows down after the first season. Like it almost feels like
Maybe they
something
caught
was
their base. Maybe they're like, oh, this is for kids. Like,
someone said something or something. You
Yeah.
know, like hey, we gotta chill out with
Tone
that a
it
little
down
bit.
here.
yeah, like
Because they got like old fans
Watching
like
it.
myself
Yeah.
being like, yo, I'm trying to watch this with like my 8-year-old,
yeah.
get her in the Karate Kid.
There's
and
no
I can't.
blowjobs in the Karate Kid.
Yeah, you know.
No blowjob talk.
Yeah, I feel like it's like its own like you say it's like, oh, it's a kids thing and it's like super corny, but like I feel like it's its own thing. Like I feel like there's not anything like it out there in its tone.
I mean,
Because it's like mixing like CW with this.
that's what
and
it feels
that,
like.
You know,
It feels like CW to me.
sometimes. That's the thing about it. It goes like it has all these CW moments, but then it has these like straight Karate Kid movies where it feels exactly like you're watching the fucking Karate Kid,
Or it's like
You know.
80s, yeah.
or it'll feel like it'll be a very serious moment. I don't know. We're loving it. We're having a blast with it. We're running through that shit. Every night she's like, "Can we watch an episode?" And then another thing we watched together, me and Hayden, is because my son doesn't really watch stuff too much. He'll float in and out, you know,
Yeah.
with Cobra Kai too. But we watched Josie and the Pussycats,
Oh.
the movie from I think it was like what? Look that up, like 2002 or
2001.
2001. Little secret about this: I bought this soundtrack when it came out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had it too.
Did you?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
great.
It was fucking great. It's actually Letters to Cleo, I think.
Yes, I think that is right.
That's who did the sound, or at least the singer. That's who voices Josie's singing voice.
Good. Those were
in
good
the songs.
times when this movie was out.
Do you remember
The
that?
movie's fucking great, man. The movie's fucking great. And you know what it's about, right? It's about the record labels are putting subliminal messages into the music and getting people to consume and buy, right? And when a band finds out about it, they kill the band. And they're working with the government in it and everything like that. So it's a full-blown like conspiracy movie.
Yeah, I remember that now. I haven't seen it in
Yeah.
forever.
And it's like, and it's not like, it's not super kid. It's, you know, again, it's one of those things where everything being said, you know, would fly over a kid's head. But I mean, it's the crew, it's all the crew from like Can't Hardly Wait and Road Trip. Like it's all those people.
Yeah, Tara Reid.
Tara Reid, yeah.
Yeah, like it's that whole like gang and shit.
Seth Green, I think I just saw.
Yeah, you saw Seth Green. Oh yeah, they played De Jour, which is the first boy band, right, on the label, and their single, it opens up with them singing a song called "Backdoor Baby." I want to get into your back
Yeah, I
door,
remember
baby.
that. Yeah.
Right? Like yeah, yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Seth
It's
Green?
yeah. It's not like a, it's not like a kids movie.
Look up what Isaac
Yeah.
Cappy says about Seth Green, and then
Right.
take that and run with it.
I don't even need to know.
But she thought it was really cool because she's just watching these girls become rock and roll, like doing rock and roll, and then she fucking loves the soundtrack now. And the soundtrack's good. I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I bought this soundtrack when it came out, because it's fucking.
Play one of the here. Actually, I'll
Do
play it.
three small words.
That's the song. I'll play it because it'll sound better.
Yeah, that's cool.
It might make
It's just
everything
like
break,
it's just
though.
really good, like pop punk.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
why I wanted to see who the producer of it was.
I'm a punk rock punk queen. Brown paper magazine. Hotter than you've ever seen. Everywhere and in between.
Like she wanted to learn this on bass, so like we learned it.
Don't you wanna come inside?
You know?
Jeez.
5-star triple threat. Hardest of the hard to get. No one's little record that. Easy nothing let me get. 6 whole hours and 5 long days. For all your lies to come undone.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah, it's good though.
It is good, yeah.
I remember putting this on a mixtape, a mix CD
yeah.
for sure. Like Allison had this record, or probably downloaded it from LimeWire or something.
Right.
And I put that song in particular. I
Right.
probably learned that song with my guitar teacher.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. We're learning this song, and it's cool because she wants to learn Blink-182 songs and stuff, which is really good for her because they're easy.
Yeah.
And this song it's easy, but it's a little bit harder for her because there's more chords to remember. Like there's more change ups
It's a well written song for
happening.
Sure.
But yeah, so I don't know if you're into.
Jake and I have been writing some pop punk.
Yeah, tell me
Yes,
about
we
this
have.
album that's gonna go down.
It's
I
coming,
don't
babe.
know. We're just
That's coming, bro.
we're just cranking out some tunes.
It's coming.
You want to hear
Good for
this?
you
You
guys.
want to hear this breakdown?
Oh,
So,
sure. I love hearing your music.
Here, I'll play a little bit of this breakdown that I just wrote. How did I do this? I should look for it real quick. Tell me this shit's not tough though when this breakdown hits. We're pretty much writing a Josie and the Pussycats record.
That's right. Yeah.
How do you guys do that? Like separately, and then you send each other the tracks, or you're together?
Say, hey, Jim, write this.
Dude, I
Or
wrote
he
that
sends
song.
me something. He's
I
like,
wrote that
give me
song
lyrics.
in like 15 minutes.
Nice. That's
Like,
tight.
it just flew.
Just came to you.
Yeah, it just flew out. Like I don't even
Okay.
know. Like it probably took me 3 days to like complete the song and like put everything in order
Well,
and
it's some-
arrange it.
It's something that's what we started off on. We started off wanting to make pop punk music.
We've never made pop punk music.
We did one album. Two.
What?
When we didn't know what we were doing. We made one when we were like 13, 14 years old with Premium Display.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then we did the first Second Too Late album, Forgetting Neverland.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
not Forgetting Never. That's the Michael Jackson. That's the Michael Jackson documentary. The Way to Neverland.
The Way to Neverland. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've never really like.
But-
we've never written pop punk music.
We never written pop punk music knowing how to write music,
Sure. Yep.
you know? And that's what we wanted to do. But
And
then,
I can knock these motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like I can like I don't know. Like I popped another one. We just finished another one before we started this podcast where we pretty much arranged a whole nother song.
yeah, Jim gave me like, it was like what? Like
1 minute.
it was like 1 minute of an idea. He sent it to me, and then like 30 minutes later, I'm like, I got a chorus.
Yeah.
So I got home, sent him the chorus,
Yeah.
and then came here, and he's like, all right, I got a verse part
Yeah.
for you to write to. And then we sat there for like 20 minutes and arranged the whole entire song.
And I mean, like shit sounds like it sounds decent. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
this shit, the idea that we can get like good quality demos just like on the fly like this is mind blowing to me. Like we would have paid
Yes.
top dollar to record at this quality.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
And
just
nowadays
like- Yeah, when we were
you
younger.
can
Just do it like
can
on your
do
own
it.
computer.
you do it on your own computer. I mean, like how we're doing this even. I mean, we're doing
We don't even need a band.
no.
you
Yeah,
know,
like, really,
we
you
don't
don't.
need
Like,
a
one
band,
person
and it's
can
so
do
much
it.
easier now. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you can really get. I mean, sure, the jamming with a band
Yeah.
was the learning. It was the dojo
right.
of what we were doing because there's no way I would have been a player that I am now without jamming with a band for 10
Yeah,
or
and you're
20
also
years.
you're getting that input from, you know, you're getting ideas coming from a different way, but at the same time it's a hassle. You know?
Yeah.
It's a hassle having band practice and having to get on schedules and then fighting and then,
Yeah.
you know.
Here's a little taste of the other one we got too.
How are the drums in there?
Programmed out. It's all like it's computers. Like
You don't need a band.
You just. Wow.
Don't need a band anymore. Yeah, so that'll be coming out soon.
yeah,
Wow.
we'll do some stuff with it.
That's wild, man. Computers.
Be on Spotify.
That's why you guys need computers.
Wait, Enzo, we have
I
computers
know,
on the
dog.
computer.
I know.
And the computers. Well,
Actually,
now,
the computer he has,
you can be argued, but
yeah.
I can work it better because I know. I mean, the logic.
It
is-
comes with a $300 to $400 program
sure.
in that drums
Okay.
for
Yeah.
free.
Well, I spent $200 on the program I have, which is a Mac only program, which is Logic Pro.
Logic.
Yeah.
But that's an industry standard
Okay.
program. Like people are using that to make hit records
Across
that
the
are-
board.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd guarantee that like everyone has used it. Like some people don't always use Logic for everything, but some people will mix in Logic. Some people will do this in Logic because it's a very user friendly and high quality. It puts out high quality stuff.
Okay.
I mean, these drums. I mean,
That was pretty cool. I mean, like,
yeah, it's
pretty
they
cool.
sound like you're not a musician. You're a normal.
Yeah.
I mean, you play.
Could
what
you?
I
No,
don't understand
He
is
is a
like
musician. I shouldn't say that because he is. But
Well, are you practicing?
I have not practiced at all, dude. I've been so deep in just gaming, PC gaming.
funny story about Enzo is Enzo's the reason I have a guitar, is because Enzo when we were probably 14.
I forget how old we were, but I think we just got into like rock music, and then we both wanted to get instruments, and then we started like taking lessons.
Well, here, slow it down. Like you,
Yeah.
Enzo, well, we'd go over to Aaron Cruz's
Aaron
house.
Cruz's house.
And he played music, and his dad was a pianist, and he was a really awesome musician. And he was in a band at the high school, or maybe even junior high, I guess it was. But
Yeah.
he was in a band with some of the neighborhood kids.
Okay.
Remember Ryan down the street from
Yeah, I
me?
do remember
Yeah.
that.
And we would go and we'd go over Aaron's. Remember going over Aaron's, and like he'd let us jam on his guitar and stuff. And then you got a guitar first.
I remember I got mine for Christmas.
Yeah, you got your Washburn for Christmas, and then
Wow.
I ended up getting a guitar because Enzo got a guitar, and I was like, everything we did at that point in time was, you know, if Enzo got a BMX bike, I got a BMX bike because we were just kicking it like that. We lived in the same sub. We were every day together.
I was in band too. Also, like I played trumpet. I remember for a little bit. I had like a
At
trumpet.
Shelby?
Yeah, I think so. Or at Browning.
Really.
Yeah, you remember Browning, right? Was where we.
Did I make
fifth
fun of
grade?
you for that?
No, but there was a music class. You might have even went to for a minute, like one day, but I remember I did trumpet for like a minute, and like that's how I got introduced to music. And then knew I didn't want to play that anymore. Like I knew I wanted to do guitar because I liked rock music. But yeah, I don't know why I just could never
But Enzo was
get
good.
it to like latch on, like for whatever. I couldn't put the pieces together.
Enzo was playing metal songs and stuff when we were young.
Well, because I like metal, and I would like listen to all the music that we would listen to, and I would hear you guys play music, and so it gave me an ear, but I just never put it together in terms of like creating my own,
Yeah.
you know. But I don't see myself in that light, anyways. Like I've never been good at any type of art, drawing or painting, or like I'll do it and I'll enjoy it, but it's just not like my first like instinct, I guess, if that makes sense.
You're an engineer or something like that.
I
You're
like ideas.
uh,
I like reading. I like things like that. You know, like discussing, theorizing, classifying things like that. You know, like I mean, I can do art. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but it's just not my first thing. Like I like always liked appreciating.
I just think you
music
should practice.
more.
It's like healthy for you, you know? It's healthy
Yeah.
for the mind.
I know. I
it
just
is.
joined a new gym actually the other day, so I'm trying to get some new like routines in. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'll add that.
Gym, guitar for
Guitar
half hour.
for half hour. Do some
Game.
yoga, dude.
Yeah, I mean, all of that. I mean, all of it's art. I mean, let's be real. Like when you're getting down to it, like you are an artist. I mean, you practice martial arts, you practice jujitsu.
Yeah, it's a different thing, but it's
you're using the same thing
yeah.
that like a
That's
creative
true.
uses when you're doing jujitsu, which is problem solving.
Yeah, like when
and-
you're at that level, then
Yeah.
you can have like a style to it, you know? It's like even skateboarding. It's like
Yeah,
and there's a point in
100%,
time
yeah.
where you're just learning the moves, but then you get to a certain point and you actually have like a flair and a style.
I think it's a cop out to be like I'm not an artist or I'm not. I think
I'm not saying I'm not an artist, but
I'm
I
not
just think
saying you're
it's
copping out.
it's not my
but-
first
yeah.
like way of thinking about stuff, like you know.
Yeah, I know. You're like an engineer.
I would rather
You're like,
yeah. Like if I hear a really good song, it's like I also think about you guys, like how you're more like I don't want to listen to another artist. I want to create it myself. You know, where I love like listening to different artists and
You're a fan.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean,
Same with art, like paintings and shit.
yeah. I know what you mean.
Speaking on art, did you guys watch The Last of Us? The last 2 episodes?
Negative.
And we
But
waited,
I'm down to talk about it.
and we waited for this.
I'm down to talk about it though.
Oh.
Can we talk about Hogwarts?
No.
Pop
He's
culture.
not letting them.
I don't want to talk about Hogwarts. We'll talk about it when I get it.
All right. What
July.
about The Last of Us?
So we're already a couple weeks out here. If you're listening, there's probably already 2 new episodes, or at least 1 new episode. But we're talking about episode 3 and 4,
No,
5.
4 and 5.
4 and 5. Yeah. So
Yeah.
4 and 5 just dropped
Yeah.
to us in this time.
Yeah, 4 was like 4 was kind of like, eh.
I
Like
said
I was getting I got a little nervous because it was coming right off of the the greatest thing that was ever made
by HBO
by HBO.
with Ron Swanson.
The Bill and Frank or Bill and Fred. Is it Frank or Fred?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Frank.
Yeah.
Who I have
funny-
I have a new theory
something
though.
there.
I do have a theory on that. Is that Bill was the only actual homosexual in that episode.
Bill was the guy who found him.
Bill's
No,
the guy
Bill
that
was the
found
guy
him.
with the
Bill's Ron Swanson.
Bill's. Yeah, exactly. Bill's
Okay.
Ron Swanson.
So you think Bill was the only homosexual?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were when you were telling us
No,
about it the other
Frank.
night.
Frank was just surviving.
Why do you think that?
Oh, okay. I took that.
Frank
as the
came
other way.
across
An opportunity. And he
this
took it?
opportunity, fucking felt the vibes, and was like, "All right, I gotta suck this guy's dick if I wanna survive this." And what would he get out of it? He got fucking 15 years of living in the suburbs during the apocalypse. Just straight
Kind
survivor
of morbid.
mode.
Yeah.
If you think about it as in like
Kind of morbid.
what happens in prisons and stuff,
Yeah.
that happens in prisons real quick.
Yeah, I
where
believe it.
You switch for comfortability.
Yeah, I watched Oz.
No, but
It's an
Damn,
interesting
dude.
theory. See, I thought you were
hell of a
saying. I
way
thought
to
you were
go.
spitting it the other way, and
No, that wouldn't make sense.
it still makes sense to me because
No, because he has nothing to gain to be pretend being gay. He owns everything. Bill. Yeah.
companionship.
I mean, you gotta be.
I mean,
you don't
keep
gotta go
in
that.
mind-
You don't gotta. You don't. If you're not homosexual, you don't gotta go that far.
Well, you're talking about
To
the
be
other guy
one.
going that far.
Yeah, to survive because he didn't have anything.
Oh, okay.
What do you
You
think
know?
though, honest to
Yeah.
God, like as a human being, like after let's say like you never just like as a human being psychologically, if you were just totally isolated, you never saw another human being for like 4 years in a row.
I might suck a dick.
And then all of a
Oh.
sudden you see a human being. Well, I'm just saying, think about it, like literally. And then you see another human being and it's like the one person that you have to count on in the whole fucking world. You know, at that point, are you just like, holy fuck, dude, this is my one chance to have like another human being.
Well, that's
Otherwise,
what Jake's saying. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm saying.
'Cause he
I'm
kn-
not
like,
saying
before
that.
he
I'm
saw-
saying like
Yeah, you're
dude
saying
was
he was a
wandering
bitch, I
around
know.
the fucking woods for some reason and fell into Bill's hole.
Yes.
Right? He obviously didn't know where he was going. He didn't
Yes.
have fucking any. He didn't have any supplies on him. Like, dude was in a spot
Right, but Bill
Right,
hadn't
he
seen
fell
a human being for like 4 years
in a
before
hole.
that.
Yeah, that's what Frank vibed out.
So you
Frank
yeah.
was like, "Oh shit! Like, this motherfucker got a whole suburb to himself. It's like guarded and
Yeah.
he's stacked up.
So he just became like a bitch.
I
kinda.
gotta stay here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold his pocket. You know, like
But I was just asking, like, if you were Bill,
Oh, you're putting the scenario to.
like, if you're
well, what
Bill,
are you saying?
like,
though?
I'm saying, like, if you're Bill, like, you
I
haven't.
think I stick to my thing.
I'm saying, if you're Bill, you haven't seen another human being in 4
Right.
years.
Right.
Are you just like, holy shit? Do you just like kind of become gay because you're like,
No.
this is the only other human being that
No.
is in your. I don't, you know what I mean? Like psychologically, that's the only other human being available to you.
I think you just
No.
go the friend route.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just his boy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, like is that how they started as friends? Is it like a Brokeback Mountain thing? Is what I'm saying? You know, like they're normal.
Didn't you watch it?
I did watch it, but we're theorizing whether Bill was gay or not. I'm asking if
No. Bill. We know Bill's gay. Bill's gay.
he's just gay.
Bill's facts. Yeah. In
So
the
you-
game.
he's
In the
taking
game. In the game. He has. He
said-
has.
he says, "I had
he
a
has
partner."
gay magazines.
Does he really?
Yeah. She finds a gay magazine in his car.
which they show in the 4th episode.
And
too.
they show on the
Or
fourth card. That's
fifth.
straight from the game.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. He's gay.
Okay. I got you. I didn't know if it was like
Like he's gay and in love, and Frank
Frank is just surviving.
bro.
Yeah. He's just I have to hold the pocket. Yeah, that's what you're saying. That's
okay.
so you're Enzo, were you almost on the fence with you? You would just you turn.
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying you
kinda
gay,
sounds
bro.
like you're gay, bro.
That's-
No, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I didn't know that. First of all, he had gay magazines. I don't know how one would say like.
No, let's get back to this hypothetical.
Yeah. Okay.
situation.
Hypothetically, like, how would you say that Frank was not gay and faking it, but he was it? Like, was.
because there's nothing to gain. Like, because you're saying that isolation would turn you gay, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. See
Well, I'm
that
saying,
at
is that
all.
what happened, or like, I don't know.
I don't think so. So
Not. I mean, it's like extreme.
well, extreme.
mean-
I think you just get companions. Like you.
Yeah, you'd get a
would just-
companion.
You'd be companion.
But then, does
with
one of them just become the bitch, like naturally at that point? Is that
Sure.
like what happens?
I
Kinda?
think one would have an alpha role, and one would have a beta role.
You know, and then like, is that's a weird thing to think about.
Now, if
bro.
one of them is gay,
I don't want
which-
to think
which
about
they
that
were,
actually.
Yeah.
and that then it might turn into like a situation where that person takes what they want. And if
Yeah.
it is the alpha, which it was in this situation, I think that's what would have happened
Is
eventually.
that like what happens in prison and shit?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know, like prison, because you could say that's what happens in prison. You know, like it is. You know, I can't speak.
I don't know.
I can't speak on it entirely because I've never been to prison. But from what I do understand is that a lot of people do go gay for the stay. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
during
for sure.
prison.
because they take
Um,
on a beta role where they're like, I'm gonna get goods. I've talked to people who've been to prison and
Yeah.
in detail about this, like in particular, and you know, I'm like, and to be honest, like sometimes when I talk to them, like I'm like, I don't know if they did some shit too.
Yeah, but like it's also like you know wanting to get your dick wet. Like you want to get your dick wet, and that's what you're kind of saying is like Bill hasn't been around anybody in a bunch of times. Here's this person shows up. Does he want to get his dick wet? You know, like
I'm thinking
doesn't
from
matter
that
from
standpoint,
what.
but also he knows like
know.
he might not ever see another
But
human being.
I think in prison though, it might be a little bit different because you don't have access to certain things. You know, like
True.
like Bill, like if you're horny out in the fucking apocalypse, like you could still go somewhere and find, you know, things
Oh, like
to
porn.
fuck,
Oh.
you know, or like porn and shit like that.
like a
you know?
warm. What would you,
I get what you're
what would you use?
know?
Apple pie.
You know,
Yeah,
you just go
warm
get one of
apple
those
pie.
infected people, you know, and
But you don't want to catch it.
Yeah,
oh,
you
yeah,
can't
use a
catch it.
condom.
Thing
That's
will
a
rip your
risky-
face off, bro.
That's risky, dog. That's risky. See, I don't think. Now, if I were to put, I like the scenario of putting myself in the situation. I don't think I would go like. I don't think I would go in a sexual. I don't think I would think sexually at all.
No.
Like there would
No.
be zero. Like
For that, they're by themselves. Weren't they by themselves for 15 years?
Yeah, but so what? I don't know.
I mean, you just beat it if you had to.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just beat it, and then you're like,
Not from a horniness standpoint. I'm just thinking from a standpoint of like,
Yeah, you're trying to say like the
the-
Spartans that went out and had their little
oh, like the like
little
the
boys
prison
they
standpoint.
fucked.
Like out of survival, did these two guys just become like?
Hey, bro, it's all
Isn't
right,
that-
man. If that's what
is
you
that
do,
the story of Brokeback Mountain?
Like, you know,
Like I've never actually seen that movie,
I've
but isn't
never
it kind of like they're
seen
off
it.
in the wilderness and then they become
they're
gay
just gay, bro.
no, one of
Yeah,
them's gay for sure.
they're
Or no,
gay.
they're both gay. I
Yeah.
think
from the
They're both
beginning.
gay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
One's like more like flamboyant, and one's more like alpha,
I got you. Okay.
and in the closet.
Ah,
yeah.
I got
He's
you.
got like a family.
So yeah, he has a family and shit like that. But no, I just think that I don't think that that's where. I don't know. I personally,
Yeah.
I don't think I would go there. I'd be like, let's. I don't know. It'd be like, let's survive, get shit, like
Yeah,
work
yeah.
together. I'll do this. I'll do that. And then if that person's like a sexual deviant that needs sex, then they're gonna take what they want from you,
Yeah,
and then you have to defend yourself and do what you have to do in that situation. But I'm not like I don't need it like that. Like I want
Right.
it to procreate, and I want it to like have some time with my lady and stuff now. But like it's like I'm not
Like, why does it happen in
as an
prison?
adult. I don't because I think some people are just sexual
there's
deviants.
Some people
like
just need,
Okay.
there's support groups and shit for that.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
like
that's fair.
I've been around sex addicts too,
I
and,
get
and
that, yeah.
it's crazy. Like I worked with a sex addict for a long time, and it was crazy. Like it was,
Really?
I was like, whoa, like
even to
this
that
is
point.
this is fucking wild. Like this shit's wild. Like
Yeah.
it's an actual addiction where they're like in a relationship and they're fucking other people and they're they're easily cheating because
Okay.
they have literally like
No standards or
No
it's just
control.
no control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe they're still feeling those things when they cheat. I'm sure they are, but like they're just like I don't know. It's just they
Yeah.
needed it from ugly girls, from it was whatever.
This doesn't matter.
Shit was wild. Like
Okay.
people are deviants with that shit. I don't think I have that, especially without like alcohol. I don't know. I don't have that like.
In you.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my theory, and I'm sure that upset a lot of people.
Maybe that whole conversation might have. I don't know.
I mean,
I think Enzo just came out of the closet. That's what happens when you're late, dog.
hey, we had to go there. We had to question it.
No, but anyways, getting back to the episodes 4 and 5.
Yeah, getting back to it. So, anyways, yeah, coming off of that episode, right? 4 kind of made me nervous because it felt very like just walking, like it felt like an episode of The Walking Dead. Like it was like very kind of cliche. Like they go into the city, like they're trying to make it somewhere, and they're on the highway, and all of a sudden they come to a blockage on the highway, and they're forced to get off and go through the city, and he's trying to avoid that because he knows what's going on, like, what's happening there. And right off the rip, they get attacked by this group, and
That's running the city.
it was very like by the numbers. Like I knew exactly when they were blocked, and he's like, we got to go through the city. I'm like, okay, they're gonna get attacked by some type of group.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
car crashes,
so
right?
that, and then they're just kind of running from it, and it just, I don't know, it just felt really Walking Dead. Like it felt like I didn't see anything new, nothing grabbed my nothing hooked me, and I was like, oh no, I hope that's not what this is
To
going
me, it
to
felt
be.
like a part 1, so I knew that there was more to it, and I've never seen The Walking Dead, so it really didn't.
Okay,
It didn't.
understandable.
It wasn't. I knew it was cliche in the fact of like Children of Men. This is how this whole show feels like the movie Children of Men, if you've ever seen it.
Okay.
Like where I was like, oh, they're gonna get. I knew that was gonna happen too.
Yeah.
And there was gonna be, or like The Road. You
Right,
ever
right.
seen
The road, yeah, the road.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
I would say more of the road.
yeah, it is for sure The Road that I was thinking of. But
That's how that episode felt to me.
yeah,
I was like, oh, I've already seen this.
yeah.
That's why I got kind of nervous about it.
But they're bringing up this character that, so the leader of the crew that was like running the city is this woman,
Yeah.
and she keeps talking about this character
Henry.
that she's looking for, and this is all Henry's fault that
Yeah.
all these bad things are happening.
Right.
And you don't really understand that.
Right. And then it ended with Ellie and Joel.
Yeah.
Ellie and Joel, like they wake up and there's this Henry guy and this little kid holding a gun to them, and
Yeah.
that's how it ended. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's interesting. And then the next episode 5, brought me back because it was really good.
And it develops these characters that you see that are in the first episode, in the 4th episode. Like the lady, you figure out why she is the leader of all these
they're
people.
a resistance.
Yeah.
They're a resistance. They live within a quarantine zone, and it turns out that they cause an uprising and they take over. They take control of this quarantine zone, and they go out and they basically like slaughter all like the Fedra, the government of it. And it turns out that there's people within the groups that they're basically rats, and they rat people out to Fedra in order to get things like food and medicine and shit like that. And
Yeah.
that's who Henry is he's like, he got her brother killed.
Yes. And her brother was the leader of the resistance.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm wondering why this lady, she's not very like she doesn't seem alpha. She seems
Yeah.
just kind of normal.
Right.
And it's kind of hard to understand why she's like the leader of everything. And then it kind of ties all that in once you find out that this Henry character got her brother killed
Yeah.
and was a rat.
Yes.
And so she was going out for vengeance against him.
Yeah, and so fifth episode brought in a lot of cool storyline and a lot of like background that's really interesting. And then they bring up the tunnels, like they need to travel through the tunnels, and they don't want to go in the tunnels because that's where were they, like Boston or something, or not Boston,
Kansas
something
City?
Kansas City
Kansas
or some
City,
shit.
yeah.
And I guess like 15 years ago or 4 years ago or something, they pushed all the infected into these tunnels, you know.
And they were off limits. These tunnels were off limits.
Were off limits. And then this rat guy, this Henry guy, he found out that the tunnels were actually clear. And so you're following Henry and his like 8-year-old little brother. All right. And I know in the game he's not that young because I looked into that. In the game he's older. He's like 13 or so. He's like
Okay.
12, 13, and he's not deaf.
Oh, he's not deaf.
He's not deaf. All right. In the show,
Yeah.
he's like 8 years old and he's deaf, which really puts more of a.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a smart move for
For
them
sure.
to go that route because it really puts more effect on it. Because you follow, you kind of care. You start caring about these people,
Sure.
and man, it went raw, man. Spoiler alerts.
Here,
if you haven't seen
pop
it
that
yet.
back so I can put that on the screen. Actually,
I'm gonna
Just
put some
that.
What I just
spoiler
Just
alert.
no, go back to the beginning. It's gonna do that right there. Pause that and full screen it.
Yeah.
Fucked it up.
Man, he fucked it all up.
Okay, guys.
All right, there we go. I'm glad I did that because nobody watches this.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Man, at the end of the episode, there's this big fucking crazy thing where this tunnel fucking explodes open and all these fucking affected come out and it just gets fucking raw real quick. It's like hundreds and hundreds of this swarm coming out of this fucking hole, like this sinkhole
Okay.
that happens, right?
And this is a moment before Ellie, Joel, and Henry and his little brother are about to like evacuate the city.
yeah, they're
Like,
about to get out. Like
they're
you're like,
almost
oh,
done.
home stretch.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this group comes at, finds them. They're like gonna shoot them, and this fucking sinkhole collapses, and all these swarm of infected come out, and this is the first time we get a bloater.
Yes.
It's the first time we see a
Yeah.
bloater.
One of the like
For
first
the,
bosses
for
in
the
game.
first time, and it's fucking raw, dude. He comes
Yeah.
out and he's just fucking, he's like ripping people's heads off and shit, dude, and fucking just smashing shit, and
Yeah.
nobody can kill it. And then there's a really fucking cool scene where Ellie's running and she crawls, she sees this like this back window of a car. It's not even like the full window; it's like the back side window, and there's a hole.
Okay.
And she's able to crawl into it, and she gets into this car, and she's like safe in this car while all this chaos is going on. And it shows this little fucking kid zombie, bro. Like it's a clicker, but it's like this. It's like an 8-year-old girl.
Okay.
Right? It's like a 10-year-old girl.
Probably the
and
scariest
she's
zombie in
and
this.
she's like fucking flipping around and
Yeah.
shit, dude. And she fucking crawls into the car with Ellie,
Oh shit.
dude. And it was dope because it kind of showed the brutality. It like really showed the brutality of the world, you know,
That it
because you're
became-
seeing this 8-year-old little
Become
girl is this fucking monster,
Yeah.
you know, like a literal monster.
Wow,
and
this is like frame for frame to the game.
and
too.
she's like fucking freaky as shit. So yeah, I just think that's like kind of like a brutality they showed. Like this is the world, man. Like it's raw now, you know. Like you're gonna see little kids dead and shit in here, and then of course, as you know from the game, you find out that Sam is infected. Little Sam is infected, and it's a really powerful moment because in the game, you know, or in the show, he's deaf, and it's Ellie and Sam in this hotel room, and they're off in the room by themselves, and they're communicating on this thing that he carries with them.
Mm-hmm.
that he writes on.
Yeah.
And it's like a magnetic strip thing.
Yeah.
And he writes to her and he says, you know, he's like, what are you scared of? And she says, being alone. And then he writes on there, like, do you think when you become a monster, it's still you inside? You know? And then he tells her that he's infected. And she tries to keep it a secret. And
Yeah.
she cuts her hand and she's like, my blood is medicine. And she puts it on there. And,
Yeah.
you know, and she thinks it's gonna work, and then fuck, man, like you in the audience, like you're kind of like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
the blood's gotta work, like yeah, the blood's gonna work, you know. And then it shows her wake up the next morning, and she wakes up, and then like he's sitting on the bed, and he's like facing away from her, and he's looking out the window, and you're like, oh shit, like it fucking worked,
Yeah.
you know, like he's not doing anything, it fucking works. And then she goes and like touches him, and he turns and just fucking freaks out. And it's just they crash through the door, and the brother wakes up, and Joel wakes up, and he's like on top of Ellie. Joel tries to shoot her,
Yeah.
but his brother grabs the gun
Yeah.
and is like pointing it at Joel, like don't shoot my fucking brother.
Yeah.
And then like randomly he
Pops him.
pops his brother.
Yeah.
And then he has this raw ass moment where he's like, what the fuck did I just do? What did I
Yeah.
just do? Holy shit. And then he just
Kills himself.
fucking shoots himself in the head. And I was like, damn, that got real fucking like Tarantino on us real quick.
Yeah.
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 You know?
It actually adds a lot of depth to Ellie's character too. I think it's the first time you get to see Ellie like actually
Yeah.
get out of her like badass shell that was annoying me in the first
From the
episode.
beginning, yeah.
But now,
I was going to ask, do you like her yet?
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because now it like I had a feeling
It's like a defense mechanism
Yeah, they were
for
doing
her.
it purposefully.
yeah.
I had a feeling, and they made her so she was annoying because she's annoying Joel. She should be
Yeah.
annoying
She gets
you.
the joke book.
Yeah,
She's telling
Yeah.
jokes.
Yep.
You know?
yeah. It's
It's a defense. It's like
Yeah.
a trauma.
and then you get to see her really like her acting. It is really good in it too.
Yeah.
I mean it's
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, man, it's just a raw ass. And like this, here we have an episode where we meet two new characters and they die at the end, right? But the difference between this one and the other one is like these characters did so much more to the development of our characters that we're watching.
yeah. Which
Whereas
is what
like
they
Bill
should-
and Frank meant nothing still.
Because they skipped it.
They meant nothing
Yeah.
other than
because they had to push, and that's where it makes it feel like an agenda, is because they really had to push that, and they sacrificed a whole. They sacrificed you even feeling anything for those characters
Yeah.
with that episode.
Yep.
Like they really did. They just at the end of this one, two characters die, and you've built up two whole episodes with them.
Yeah.
and then you actually feel
one. No, it's one episode.
Yeah, it's one episode.
One
Exactly.
episode.
Yeah,
But
one
you
episode.
felt like,
Yeah.
oh shit, this is they're part of the crew now.
Yeah. You kind of hoping they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh sick. Like
That's why that third episode was just trash. I mean, it just wasn't.
Yeah.
They didn't do it right, and that's just a matter of fact. I don't care what it was. It has nothing
Yeah.
to do with their sexuality or anything like that. They just did not execute that right. And if you think otherwise, I think you're wrong.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think you're wrong.
I agree.
Because I've already seen people be like, "Oh, this episode made me cry harder than the last one." Even
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, because this one did its job.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
this one
actually
did
what the
it-
story
this-
was.
Because this
Yeah.
one's like good writing and
Yeah.
towards the whole of the whole story rather than
Yeah.
its own little thing.
This made me excited to watch next week, for sure.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, that's Sam in the beginning.
Yeah, you it was on there the whole
okay.
time. It was actually syncing up perfectly with how you were describing the story. So if you're
really?
watching on YouTube, you get to see the comparison of the game and the
Yeah. And like I said, the fact that they made him like 8 years old and deaf, like, just really hits home when he's like sitting on that bed, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's kind of crazy because like, was he sitting on that bed? Like, he didn't attack her first, you know?
yeah.
And like, they're saying that it's now known that it doesn't affect the mind, okay? It infects the nervous system. All right. So in the game, apparently in the game, if you watch clips of the game, like when you come across runners or so there's runners and then there's something before clickers. I forgot what they're called, stalkers or something. There's a stage. So there's a stage. When you first get infected, you become a runner.
I'm watching what's going on here.
You become a runner,
Yeah.
and then once it starts taking over more, you become this creepy thing that like hides and crawls and is like sneaky.
Okay.
I think it's a stalker. It would help if you told me, Enzo, since you played the game.
I don't know. I mean, the exact classification of all the enemies, but
It's amazing you have the internet. to figure it out.
enemy list.
But anyways, so
Producer, number one.
so
podcast
in the game,
producer.
in the
Yeah, exactly.
in the game, you hear when
Top
you come
producer.
when you come across the runners and the stalkers before they get to a clicker stage, right?
Yeah.
You hear them moaning, like they moan and they like they
Stalkers.
yell and they mumble,
Shamblers, yeah.
right? And it's because they are fully aware of what they're doing, but they can't do anything about it. So that's why they're like crying and moaning and shit.
Okay.
Okay, because they can't stop it. But it doesn't infect the brain. It's not making that like their mind go. Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy? And
Yeah.
that's like fucked up and creepy when you
Yeah, it
think
is
about it.
fucked
Like
up.
they
For
have
sure.
no choice until they become clickers, where it's like
It's gone.
it's gone.
They're gone already. Yeah.
That's when it comes out of the head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting. It's like, was he like sitting there looking out the window, knowing what
It was about to happen.
it's about to happen? You
Yeah.
know? So
That is very interesting.
Astute observation, Jake.
yeah, clickers are third stage. So there's two more.
It's stalkers. You were right.
It was a
Stalker.
Yeah.
It's runners, stalkers, clickers, shamblers, bloaters, rat king.
What's a shambler?
So that's a bloater, but it's full of those are spores, and when it dies, all those spores explode.
Oh, they should have made that guy.
So they're not doing spores apparently in the game, in the show.
Okay.
So in the game, there's all these sections where you have to go inside and you have to wear gas
Gas
masks.
mask, yeah.
So there's a lot of gas mask wearing in it,
Okay.
and so they decided to
Yeah.
take that out.
For the reason of like,
Yeah, stars
Yeah.
and shit, you know.
that's bullshit because it would have been a great time for that. So that should have been the introduction of that one. And when he dies, he's infecting all those people in the town.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, they had they said from the get go they weren't doing.
So you don't
spores.
do like the Bane or like the Tom Hardy and Bane.
I
You know-
guess.
You know, what
yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah.
how like people were like, oh, he
Which
played
doesn't make sense because he has a whole show where he wears a mask.
Tom Hardy.
No.
Oh.
Joel. He's the Mandalorian.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
He has a show where he's like literally not allowed to take
Well,
off
his agent
helmet.
probably was like, no, we can't do
Yeah,
that.
we can't do another
No.
mask.
Yeah, we can't do that again.
Tom Hardy does it.
Yeah, nobody.
Tom Hardy always wearing masks.
Yeah,
you know,
nobody-
every Nolan film.
I didn't know that they were both in Game of Thrones.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's
Yeah.
the Prince of Dorne.
And then Ellie is the girl who does like,
The woman who's of Bear Island.
Yeah.
The princess of Bear Island. Jake, one of these times.
They're in it together though.
That's
cool.
are they in it together?
They're not on the screen ever
No.
at the same time. The Prince of Dorne dies before she gets
Okay.
introduced.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry guys.
No. But she's got a cool little role in Game of Thrones though.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little badass in it.
Yep.
And after learning that too, I'm not gonna lie, I like it was like, oh, I liked her more.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do like her character. I think she did exactly what she was supposed to do in the first episodes too.
right.
I think she
Right.
really like annoyed you.
There's some good parts coming. In
Yeah.
the
Dude,
game.
that game, because if you were watching on YouTube when Jake was describing that scene with dude and his brother, the game and show matchup it goes back to that too. Even you know what I mean, where it's
Yeah.
like that's wild. It has that sniping scene where you play your Joel in the
Yeah.
tower.
Yeah,
That's
like-
sick.
So why did they defect so much
That's what I'm saying.
for the
The
Bill
third
story?
episode.
Oh.
That didn't. It's
Like-
not going to matter at all. to
Dude, the
rest
game
of the
already
story.
is great. It's critically acclaimed. They just had to stick to the script.
Well, they won with the agenda and the wokeness. So
Yeah,
you know,
they had to.
I'm like, should we even talk about this train thing that happened? I mean, by the time this airs, it's gonna be so. I don't
Well-
know. Well, I mean, it's still gonna be. There's people probably gonna be dying and shit still from or pets.
Yeah.
So basically, we all heard about this
I
train
have
that
to pee.
it's derailed.
I've heard, yeah.
And I mean, if you haven't seen the footage of this, man, because it is being kind of, it's not
It
being
is.
talked about, other than on social media.
Like TikTok or something.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know because I don't follow mainstream news, but from what I hear, it's not being touched on mainstream news
Yeah, same.
at all. I don't know if that's true or not,
I mean, this
but it is
MSNBC.
something. It's something that you would think would be talked about all the time because we had these chemicals. Just, I mean, if you see this footage, man, of like these cloud. Have you seen the cloud?
Yeah, it's like literally a mushroom cloud.
Yeah, it's like a fucking nuclear bomb mushroom cloud,
Yeah.
dude. And it's just all poison. And
I know.
apparently people are saying like their pets are starting to die. They're seeing schools of fish floating on the rivers. Like the river's
Yeah.
done, the fucking ground is done, and they're out here trying to say that it's safe.
How can it be?
Yeah, they're like telling people like, "Oh, it's safe and everything," and you know, it's like, what's going on? And then another one
Today,
happened again in
Arizona.
It's like, I don't know. I think maybe Tucker Carlson brought it up, or someone said that it seems like there's like a domestic terrorist organization happening
oh yeah,
across the country
You
right
think
now.
so? I know, like
You know?
how all these places are
Like our eggs are disappearing,
Yeah.
our food's going up,
all,
these-
everything related to like food and essential.
Yes.
Like,
it's getting blown up or
Yeah.
starting on fire.
I agree.
You know,
Yeah,
like a color revolution or some shit's happening.
kind of fucked, man. I don't know. Let's see if I can find anything on it.
Going to the old Gab,
Yeah,
huh?
I gotta look and see. They usually have like pictures.
Yeah,
or
you're just gonna find some
videos.
racist shit on it. That's all.
Here we wait. Here we go. Okay, no.
I don't know, man. I'd be out though. If that was my town.
I'd
There's
be out
no
of
way.
there too.
No way. I don't know what I would do. I would have to figure that shit out, but I'd at least be getting away and staying in some type of cheap motel with my family. For a while.
Cameras on.
I mean, Biden administration insists Ohio air is safe after chemical explosion sparks fears. How can it be safe, man?
People are coming
I don't
out being
know.
like, "This shit ain't safe. All my chickens died. My dog died. There's fish floating in the river." Like,
How far is that from where we're at?
Oh, here, let's take a look.
it's called East Palestine. Stein. I think it's East Palestine. Yeah. It's like right next door.
Yeah, right. No, it's far.
See, near Pittsburgh, near those Amish people.
If I'm not mistaken, because I'm pretty sure that there's a big front coming in from the. Will you look up weather? There's a front coming in from the east right now.
What are you saying? We're all gonna die now?
Just look up no, it's gonna be like actual. Well, I just seen on the news that there's gonna be high winds in our area, and they look like they're coming from like southeast of us.
Blowing it right
yeah,
up in
but
our area.
how far could that
Bro,
go?
I
You
don't
know,
know, man.
Like, how was it? What was it for Chernobyl? I mean, I know it was pretty far, but
I mean, I don't
that's a
even,
different
I don't
beast.
even believe in Chernobyl, dog.
Yeah. There's a guy swimming in the water. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but they're like, here's your government telling you it's safe, just like they told all the fucking first responders and all the people, all the volunteers at 9/11 that the air was safe.
Yeah, I know.
They told them all that it was okay to be in there. You didn't need a fucking mask or anything like that. And now all those motherfuckers had fucking respiratory issues or they died.
Dude, imagine how bad this is going to be.
Like
the soil and
people
shit.
don't even people don't even realize how many of those volunteers and first responders had major health issues later on from breathing that shit in and weren't helped at all. They weren't helped at all with like medical or anything like that. They were just fucking forgotten about. So they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I remember watching this crazy documentary back in the day when you can watch stuff like that on YouTube. I mean, you can never find this anymore. You would never be able to find this. Where it was like straight up interviewing. It was interviewing families of and first responders and volunteers that were on the scene within either the first day or within the first week, digging that shit out and like how they're all dying. They're like dying from like respiratory issues and shit like that. And like the whole documentary is about like how they're just trying to get funding and charity for medical, health insurance and shit like that. And it's interviewing all these firefighters and everything that were in the buildings, and they're talking about all this weird shit that was going on in the buildings. It was like probably the most eye-opening documentary I've ever seen on 9/11, because you're talking like chiefs. They're talking to like firefighter chiefs and shit like that were like in there being like, yeah, we found a fucking guy in the closet that was dead for some reason, and like he shouldn't have been dead. Like, why was he dead? Talking like shit like that. Like,
yeah. I remember that, dog.
and you can never find that now.
No. Well, there was massive lawsuits and stuff like that just got covered up and covered up and covered
Yeah.
up and buried and just shut down. Now, did you guys talk about how there was other ones?
There's one that happened today.
Yeah, we're saying how like somebody was saying that it seems like there's like a terrorist organization, domestic, occurring in our country right now.
This was Arizona. I heard about a
It's like
Texas one too.
controlled
Right?
demolition of the U.S. Dude,
Yeah, I heard about
and
this
all these
recently.
balloons that have been being found. There's been more of these spy balloons. Have you heard about that?
Well, no, they're just objects now.
What? Okay, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there's one over the Lake Huron in Michigan, which is pretty close to
yeah.
us.
The fuck's
like that, bro.
man?
I'm turning around. Seeing that shit? Nope, I'm turning around, bro.
Now, is this something that just happens and
Truck
like,
got overturned, I guess.
are we seeing it because it's just?
I don't know.
No, that's a pretty big deal.
So what was
This-
the cargo on the Ohio one?
Vinyl
type of-
oxide,
Yeah, some type of fucking
liquid
chemical.
PVC piping, basically. It's like the PVC the liquid before it gets cured into like a PVC pipe. That's what it was apparently.
Oh,
It's very
can't be
toxic.
good. Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like, it's basically the biggest natural disaster on American soil.
Yep.
We basically nuked a town.
3 more chemicals discovered in train derailment.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I'd be out, bro. I'd be out. I would get the fuck out of there, man. There's no way I'm sitting. I watched Aaron Brockovich, man. Like, fuck that shit.
And I mean, think about it. Like, all the
Dude,
farms in the area, dude. All the crops that are
remember?
going to get sold. Like, we don't know where. that
Right
shit's
by
going.
your house, right here on the highway, man. We had some fucking like some chemical oozing onto our freeway.
Yeah.
Some green ooze was coming out onto the freeway, and they had to like shut it down, and like they quarantined it, and like fucking what do you call the CDC, or I don't know, the hazmat people came in
Yeah.
and fucking they found out it was this leak from this fucking plant over here.
Yeah,
that
one
was
of these
leaking through the
industrial
soil.
plants. Yep.
All this chemicals, and they're like, oh, don't worry, it didn't go into the water supply, it didn't go into, it's not in the water supply. I was like, fuck that, dude. I bought a water cooler,
Yeah.
and we've been drinking, we haven't drank our tap water since
Yeah, I know.
since that happened, man.
Did you see what Tom Green said?
Oh, I was gonna bring up
What's up,
fucking Tom Green, dude. Tom Green getting based on here. He's all like, there's aliens, there's fucking, what are
I'll
these
pull it up.
aliens, are these fucking,
You pulling it up, Mark?
Yeah.
he's like, what's going on? There's something going on. And he's all like in the wilderness by himself in Canada,
Yeah.
you know?
He got
He's doing it right. He's just on land.
Yep. He was during the pandemic. He was moving in an RV. He was moving around the towns.
Yeah, get some volume on this.
Yeah.
Wait, go to the other one. I think this is.
I'm Tom Green, and forgot to mention the other reason this UFO information is coming out now is because they're trying to distract us all from the fact that we're about to get released the
it is.
Epstein Island list, as well as what's going on in Palestine, Ohio, with the train derailment and the chemical release of chemicals into the air, which is being called possibly as bad as Chernobyl, and the fact that World War III might be about to start in the Ukraine war between USA, Russia, and China. So that's what's going on. Good to see you guys. Hope you guys are having a great day. There's UFOs.
Yeah, dude.
You brought up the Epstein
World
list,
War
bro.
III.
That's how you know you based.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brought up Epstein.
That's how you know you're not on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how you know you're.
Bad as Chernobyl.
That's
World War
kinda scary.
III, Russia, China, USA, dude. Could you
Now
imagine?
I kind of want to see how far can this shit travel with this.
Yeah.
You know.
By the looks of it, I mean, it looks like Toronto's going to be in some trouble. Toronto and Buffalo.
Yeah, there's like a lake between us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
It's got to disperse somehow.
It's gonna go. It's gonna go.
They're not going to
east.
tell us anyways. They're going to tell us the opposite. They're going to say, yeah, you're safe. You know?
Well, yeah, they are. They're telling the people in the
Exactly.
town it's safe, bro.
Yeah.
No fucking way, man. I'm out. Getting out of there.
It's crazy, man.
Taking my bug out bag.
Did you see? Or you sent me that Kathy Griffin thing too.
Yeah.
Kathy Griffin had something on TikTok that was.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. So yeah, somebody asked her in the comments, what was it? Yeah, just find it.
I'll find it.
Something about Epstein's list, and she asking her about it, like, oh, why were you there?
Mm-hmm.
Why were you there? And she's
Yeah.
like, she responds to it
What did she say?
on her TikTok, and she just goes, seriously? And she doesn't fucking answer.
Oh.
And everyone's like, well, what the fuck are you doing there?
Yeah,
Answer
exactly.
the fucking question.
Yeah, and what happened? She didn't do it?
No, she doesn't at all.
Well, probably because you know why.
Because she was on that motherfucker, dude.
Bro, we have to seriously consider what if World War III is starting, bro?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not worried about. I don't know. Other than nukes, I'm not really worried about anything. There's like no possible way. There's no possible way America's ever getting invaded. No possible way.
I mean,
No possible way.
they don't have to invade us. They can still make life suck.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, here it is. Bring it up on.
So
Well, fuck
you-
that bitch.
You proud of visiting Epstein Island, sicko?
You guys,
This is what she says.
seriously?
That's it. No, I'm not proud. That's what she's saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like, why would you even respond to that? Like, if you were gonna.
I don't know.
Yeah, bro. There's like, and it's funny because there's actually been stuff on here about invading the U.S. and shit, and like there's so many factors that it just couldn't ever happen. Like the fact of our two mountain ranges
Yeah,
on both
make it way
on
too
both
hard.
sides, right? There's like no way you're getting past that, right? Aside from the fact that how many guns we have as citizens,
Yeah.
that's why people wouldn't invade. First off,
They never have, right?
Hmm.
I mean, they never have.
they never have. I guess there was a famous, I don't know if he was Japanese or some type of general or something, been asked before why.
Blades of grass.
Yeah, the blades of grass thing. Behind every blades of grass, there's a gun in America.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like the fact that we all have guns.
yeah.
So there's that, and then just the fact of like I mean, think about like where are they gonna come from? Like, say they come off the coast of California, right? And invade us on foot across California. Like, think about them walking through Compton.
Oh no,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, think about
Yeah.
some foreign enemy
no. There's
walking through.
There's militant. I
They
mean, they're
bomb
already-
the
they're-
fuck out of them first, dude. I mean, you know,
Yeah, that's what they would do.
if they're like trying
Yeah.
to take over, really.
Yeah, I mean they're drone striking, and they're, well,
I
that's
mean,
what
that's all talking if they got past any type of military, which we have like the most military around the world.
yeah.
Like we're
But what is going on then?
I don't know. I think a World War III is going to be more like a draft thing. You know, it'd be like a draft thing.
Just to get people
You do?
a population control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think all of them
Drafting.
have been that. To be honest, I think they all are.
And I know
used-
people are like,
I think that too.
"Oh,
but
war's not fought like that anymore. Like that's not how war's fought." Well, motherfucker, I don't know. I'm seeing footage of Ukraine, and it looks a lot like World War II. All the footage I see
Yeah,
what if they just like
looks a lot like Call of Duty.
because their people are just using those people to just get rid of them. Useless eaters.
what if they just like collapse the United States by ruining all our food production, having these natural disasters, all these different things, and
That's
the
inside
UN,
then.
China, and
That's
Russia
inside
just like
then. No, that'd be insider then. Like
Yeah.
our government will have to be involved. Like I'm not saying it
Yeah, I know.
can't be or it's
Yeah.
not. I'm just saying that has to be because
Dude,
if it wasn't,
I think the China fear, the Russian fear, I think it's all bullshit.
yeah,
I hope
I
it
think-
is. I hope it is.
I think what we're missing though is we're not fearing our own leaders.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's like you're saying, like if that's happening, that's from the inside.
it's inside.
And I think that is literally happening.
Yeah.
I think the inside is
Because if it
manipulating everybody to think bad guy Russia, bad guy Ukraine, bad
Yeah.
guy China, bad guy TikTok.
while
bad-
we blow up derail trains,
Yes.
we'll start
Yeah.
chicken
Yes.
farms
But
on
it's
fire.
like, are they like selling us
'Cause-
out?
If it wasn't,
the one world government already exists.
yeah.
So
That's
they
true.
already exist and they're already
They just
in
need
control.
reasons for people to suck their dick. They
Yes.
need to get people to suck their dick and accept it
Yep.
and want it. That's what they need. They need people to want it and to love it.
So I think that all these bad guys are just fake. Just like they're all were fake in the
Yeah.
past.
So an alien invasion would do that, or a World War III would
Sure.
bring people to save us,
Yeah.
save us, save
Or
us.
like,
One world government, save
if-
us.
Yep.
A lot of our farmland got bought up, and then other huge swaths of rural areas just
Yeah.
became ruined and toxic because of these
Like, think about it
natural
like this.
disasters, and then like all these food plants and food places are becoming like they're getting caught on fire or being sabotaged, and
Yeah, that has to be insider because
you know what I'm
if
saying?
if our government had us in their best interest and they cared about us
Take
and
your
wanted,
headphone off and just talking to that mic normal.
I am.
You know, you're getting side of it because you can't stand the sound of it.
No, I just
There you go.
I can't even hear my
You
headphones.
can't hear it?
No.
Okay.
But if our government really cared about us,
We
then
really don't.
then there's no attack that could happen on us, okay? Because you're saying like, oh, like, if Russia EMP'd us or did this and that, like they wouldn't
Yeah.
do that. They couldn't do that because they would fear the response.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It
we're
would
supposed to
take-
be the most powerful
Yeah.
military in the world. Like oh, they're gonna EMP us. Well, what the fuck you think we're gonna do to them then? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're like
I
we
don't
supposedly dropped 2 nuclear fucking bombs on people. Like, what, you
Yeah.
think we ain't gonna do that shit again? That was fucking in the 40s. If like that shit's real,
I think they're
think about
looking
what
at
we
it-
got now.
I think they're looking at it like,
But I
oh,
don't trust our leaders to be like
no,
pro
you
America
should,
right now.
no,
So
absolutely
it's-
not.
It's like
That's why I'm saying it has to be inside.
It's like, why are you're saying like, why are the wars? You're seeing footage of Ukraine and Russia, and the wars are still being fought like World War II. It's because they're like catching up. Like they're not on the level. They're like, what are you doing? Like how do we dispose of all these people? They're like, watch how we do it here in America. We poison the food. We poison the water. We whatever. We create these catastrophic events that happen.
Yeah, I get what you're
and-
saying. They're like, yeah,
Yeah, they're like, we're doing all. We don't have to do that anymore.
'Cause we're,
We
like,
don't have to
pacified,
fight
you
the
mean?
war. No, we don't have to fight the wars like they. We don't have to do the World War II where we send.
yeah.
All
Well,
these
they're going
troops
to
over
because it's
there.
gonna make money, though. It's gonna
Yeah.
make money and shit like
Sure,
that.
yeah.
you know?
I mean, if they can use it, they
Yeah.
will for sure.
yeah.
But
It's
they're-
like oh shit, one of our NASA satellites got spotted and discovered. What can we do? Well, we can use it to
We can, like, ask
create
the Federal
propaganda against China and
Yes.
get everybody on board on
Yes.
attacking China and sending
Yes.
our kids over.
yeah,
Yeah, which
know?
we'll have to take out a huge.
You know, they have like
loan
a
from
think
the
tank of like,
banks.
oh no, this NASA satellite came down. People
Yeah.
are onto it. What do we do? Go to the think tank. We use it as propaganda.
yeah.
You know?
Never
all
let a
it is.
crisis go to waste.
It's like I was saying in the chat today, like with, everyone talks about TikTok being Chinese spyware, especially on the right. Like, so like,
Yeah.
they got the right all riled up about China, about this, so that's just part of the game, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's just all part of the plan. Like there's no difference between
Yeah, so
TikTok
what?
and
Insta or
Instagram and Facebook
or dating apps,
No.
honestly.
What you're missing is you're looking at the bad guy, China, and you're not looking at the bad guy, Meta.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
here.
Facebook,
Like,
that's
Facebook,
here.
that's
Google,
here,
that's
you're
here.
using-
That's
yeah.
spying on you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like your fucking people are spying
They're
on
all
you.
doing
Like,
it.
Who gives
I
a
mean-
fuck if China is?
Yeah,
Like, you know,
exactly. Like,
I
what
care more about. I'd rather China spy on my shit than Google.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, you think so? I would.
Because Google can do something about it.
Yeah.
What the fuck's China gonna do?
Yeah.
China gonna do with my information? I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. Whatever.
I don't
far away.
buy it. And
Hmm.
Adam Curry was on Rogan. He was talking about this in detail about how TikTok, and because like Rogan's all about that too. He's like, have you read their terms of services? He's like, have you read any terms of services
they're all
of these?
fucked.
They're all the same. He's like, they're all.
Hmm.
He's like, you don't think that it's just the fact that TikTok is a better platform, is a better that's growing
Concept.
that's growing way more than
Yeah.
Meta, than Snapchat, than any of these other American-born apps.
Yeah.
You don't think that those places are like, like,
Yeah, like Facebook's like, these
Yeah.
are bad.
Yeah,
They're bad
for
because they're
sure.
doing better than us.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And everyone's like, well, it's so addictive, and it's that. Well, sure, it is, but like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Because we're humans and
Yeah.
we're curious
Yeah.
beings.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you can recognize one's bad for you, surely you can recognize that another one can also be bad for you
Well,
as well.
But like, how is TikTok bad for me? You know, how is
Because it
TikTok
just,
any
like,
worse?
Sends
then-
out like, because they can use it to socially condition you in such a way that is able to like send you out content.
So like anything throughout my entire day, right? If I get on a fucking Xbox or I get on my PC to play video games, like what do you think that shit's doing?
But
Same
I
thing
think it's
TikTok's
different.
doing. It's stimulating. It's not different at all.
It is because
how is it
they
different?
can control the algorithm that they send you based on data that they have that they know that they want to use.
What
to,
you
like,
think? What you think?
manipulate
These
you.
games don't have fucking think tanks?
I didn't
and
say that
fucking
they didn't have
aren't
that.
figuring out what exactly you want as a
Yeah,
person.
I
you
didn't
know?
say that. I'm
See,
not.
the
This
game-
isn't a
like,
competition.
Or fucking.
But the
I'm just saying.
TikTok's in real
everything-
time as you're
everything
swiping,
does
bro.
That, though.
TikTok's in real time as you're swiping, and it's like being curated to you, just like we talked about, where the quote unquote Chinese are like sending engineering and putting like things that are important to their youth, and then we're getting just like
Yeah,
girls
but you
acting
can-
like
you
hoes.
can get
And
that. You can get that on TikTok. And
Yeah.
if anything, TikTok has proven that it actually curates an algorithm that you like.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not saying it's. I don't have TikTok, so I don't care.
I mean, I'm
just
not
saying.
over here. I am defending it because I think it's
Yeah.
stupid that it's like it's got this like negative thing, just like
Because anything could be negative.
yes, for
Anything
sure.
could be fucking
Yes.
negative.
I mean, it
Like,
depends
Josh
what you
said-
see
what
on
Josh
it.
said
If you
about
see
it being
good stuff
a
on it,
time suck. Like, what he
anything
said
is,
about that,
yeah.
I get it.
not why I
That's
disagree.
Yeah,
about-
but I don't even get that because to me it's like, okay, well if it wasn't like the time, if I'm not on TikTok, then I'm either like with my kids or I'm like getting on my guitar and spending the next 2 hours writing some fucking crappy punk rock song that fucking 4 people that Jim forces to listen to at work are going to hear.
Yeah.
Like what does that mean? Like
I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with social media in general. Like when there really isn't. There's nothing inherently wrong with social media, TikTok, Instagram. Like the concept is good. It's just the fact that we know that once it gets run by interests that are like not pro what we want, pro family, pro USA, whatever, then it becomes like, should we support these things? Should we continue to support
Right.
things that are like
right. But next time on Secret Hideout Podcast,
next
we
time.
continue the debate of TikTok.
Yeah, for sure.
Why don't you tell everyone where they can find us?
Check us out on Instagram at Secret Hideout Podcast and on TikTok at Secret Hideout Podcast. You can also get us on any other devil worshipping social media platform. That
Time
you like.
sucking platform.
Time
low vibration
sucking.
ass.
Yeah, if you're wasting your time listening to us, we appreciate you.
Yeah, and like always, don't listen to a word we say because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. And please do your own research, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Peace.
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 Intro that shit. Go fucking late.